Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with Our Crafty Playdate, and we are going to be making some Christmas cards today. I'm excited to do this video again. Let me tell you what happened. I did my Christmas club in July, okay, so here's how Christmas club works. I start in July, and we make 12 cards a month for 5 months, and so by Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving, you have 60 handmade cards ready to go out. You don't have to worry about trying to cram in all that extra crafting during the holiday season, at least for card making. You have all that other crafting to do. But anyway, I filmed these videos already. I videotaped them for you, and then I thought I had uploaded them and deleted them off my phone, and they were gone. I did not upload them, so I'm going to start over for you. This is the first one we are going to make today, so let's get started. We're going to be using some fun tools, some of my favorite tools. So that you know, we are using a Mary Merlot card base, and this is a great color. This color is not quite cherry cobbler. Let me compare for you. Okay, so this is cherry cobbler, and as you can see, it's a little braided. So it's a little more muted, a little more purple. It's got a little more purple in it. But it also, this looks so rich, right? And then you add this and you're like, oh, now I get it. This is a great card base that falls in our neutral category. And it's just because you can do so much with it, and it just kind of disappears into the neutrals. It doesn't have to make a huge loud splash. It works really well. All right, so we've got a card base in that, and then our panel is going to be crumb cake. And when I say a panel, this piece of cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so that is going to be our panel, and that is what we are actually going to stamp on. Well, our first set of stamps, and we are going to use my very favorite tool, the Stamparatus. And I've already got it set up. So when you get your Stamparatus, it comes with 2 of these removable plates. And you actually have, 4 sides because you can move it, presto changeo. We are actually doing it like this. So I did teach this in a class and in person. I do teach classes in person, which I love, but I have been crazy lately. Let's put our panel here. So this is kind of how I have it set up so that people know. And I just have a temporary adhesive. We don't sell this. It's just a temporary adhesive that I stuck down so that I can pull that off when I'm done. And the first thing I'm going to do is put in the green leaves, and then I'm going to add the Mary Merlot berries, and then we're just going to put in the gold by ourselves. The reason that I did this is because in a class, people are passing things around, and it's easier to know right where they need to be placed so that this fits on there well. So this just makes it much easier for everybody. We are using Mossy Meadow as our green. And this is another one that used to be a color, and now it's a neutral. So both of these colors, which seems kind of weird, really, to have them in neutrals with the blacks and the whites and the grays, but it really works very well that way. So Stamparatus, the best thing is you can ink it, and then, ooh, I got it all over here. It won't matter. It's not going to touch. So I'm going to give it some pressure here. If I see a spot that I don't like, now mind you, this stamp is supposed to do that. Okay, so this stamp set is called, I moved it. I'll put it in the description. It is in the actual annual catalog. This year it was in the holiday catalog last year. It is a distinctive stamp, so it is supposed to have texture like this, okay, with some whiter spots, some less printed spots, and it just makes it look a little more real. If this wasn't one of those stamps and I was supposed to be covering that, because it's going to be positioned with the Stamparatus, I could just re-ink and stamp again. Give it pressure. It's going to be darker now because I've done it twice. Oh, dropped it. No problem. It's still all in exactly the same spot. So that is one of the beauty things of Stamparatus. So if you were to make a mass quantity of these, it looks like it would be really difficult to make a lot of them, but you could just stamp, and then put it aside. And that's 2 steps where you don't have to think about placement. This is a while you're watching TV kind of situation. Okay, and now I'm using Mary Merlot for my berries. So I'm going to ink up here. And if you're wondering how to get that off there, it's just regular stamp cleaner. It's not a big deal. And this is going to come down and it's going to be perfect. So how do you put it on the Stamparatus and know exactly where you should put it? Good question. What I do is I lay my card base down and then I take my stamps. I'm going to spray this real quick and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, that is my stamp cleaner stuff. I'll pull this out. And I'm going to just wipe that off. Okay, so if I were going to do this, I would just lay this, so I know kind of where I need it. I would just lay this on my card base and say, okay, yeah, that looks about right. That's where I think I'm going to want it when there's nothing printed on there. So just a normal card base, put it on there. And then you take your clean plate and you just stick it on and close it. And now when I ink it, it's going to hit the same spot every single time. Got it? So easy. And so the same is true for this. I just took my berries. Once I stamped my leaves, I knew where my berries needed to be. So I just took my stamp and laid it right down there, closed the lid, pushed on it, and it picks it up. And then it's always going to be in the same spot. All right, I'm not going to clean that right now because you saw how I did that. It's not a big deal. In the catalog, we have these papers that go with your Stamparatus. Get them because you can actually write on them. And actually, when I do this, if I'm going to make more of these cards, I can just stick this in the box with it. Or I sometimes stick it right in the stamp case because then I know, oh yeah, I did that with it. And also this doesn't come with it. So these are separate. This is what you get with the Stamparatus plus magnets, which I don't use. Some people like them and I'm not one of those people. But this is another thing that is in your book, and it is a foam mat. So it just gives you a little more give, which is great, but it also has the grid on it. So if I didn't have this paper, it would still work perfectly well with just the grid. Okay, enough about Stamparatus. Gonna move that out of the way. I know you want to hear more about it. I'm gonna close this so I don't put my hand in it again. Okay. So I've got these parts and it's starting to look a little like that. I'm going to use some gold ink. So because I have had a little bit of a crazy run lately with some, well, let's see, do I have my gold stamp out? I think I put it away. I'm not going to add the gold right now. Sorry. But normally I would just ink it up and stamp. I actually put the whole case away because, like I said, I did this twice. So anyway, I just stamp. I'm not even sure some of this is actually in our current catalog, and I will list it in the description if it's in our current catalog. But if it's not, and it's not something you can get, I will list a substitute item. Okay, so if you see something that is listed there that I didn't use, it's because maybe I used something that was retired, like this ribbon. And I'm sorry that I did that. Actually, I probably designed this a while ago before the ribbon retired, or it's just something that I had that I loved. But I will always offer you an alternative of something that you can currently access if you want to make a card that's like this. Okay, so we're going to pretend that I have added the gold stamps. All right, so now we need to do our, this guy. You know, I closed that. This stamp is, yeah, I'm going to have to list that one too I'm going to list that in the description because I put it away. All right, this is Mary Merlot again. And what I am making is this tag right here. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. Now, I don't need a foam mat under here right now because this is red rubber, and it's got foam. See that foam layer there? So I don't have to do that. I'm just going to do it kind of down here like that. Good. Now I can officially close this and get my finger in it. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in this punch. This punch is in our annual catalog, and I will list it below. And I am just going to slide it in and center it. If I were, and when I did this for the class, I may punch all these out before we stamp them. I may just punch a bunch of these out because this stamp is relatively easy to just line up on there and stamp when you can see your piece. So it's not too big a deal. Okay, and that's my tag. And now I need to do these other things. All right, so one of the things that I like to do when I'm going to use some ribbons is maybe put a little bit of adhesive on the back, just tape runner adhesive, just regular adhesive. Not that I'm going to use this to stick this down. I'm going to use a dimensional, but I like to put that on there so that my ribbon can stick while I'm placing it. All right, so the first thing I want to do, because you can see this is the top layer closest to the tag, is the gold twiny stuff, which is not the official name of the gold twiny stuff, but it's what I'm calling it today. And we are going to just wrap it loosely around our hand twice and cut it off. Okay, that was not helpful if I don't do it on the camera. I just wrapped it around my 3 fingers, 4 fingers twice, and then I can play with it a little. If it's super twisty, I might straighten it a little bit before I get started, and you can do that. Hear that great noise? You can do that just with your thumbnail. It's like the opposite of curling ribbon. So I just loosely 2 times kind of play with them, and it's a little bit wiry, so it works really well. If you want to make one a little smaller than the other, you can. That's how mine is there. Up to you. Okay, so I'm going to make them a little more closely sized, and then I'm going to just stick it on here, and it's coming kind of down at an angle like this. Once I've got it stuck, and see, I use that adhesive to just hold it in place while I'm kind of monkeying with it a little bit here. I'm gonna cut these tails off. That was hazardous. Don't do that at home. That could be dangerous. Okay, and then the ribbon that I'm using, again, I think this might be expired, or not expired. Sounds like bad milk. No, it's awesome. It's Fine Art ribbon, and I'm pretty sure that it is retired, but we do have some other comparable ribbons that would be awesome. So don't get all worked up about it. It's going to be just fine. I am going to, so I just cut about 5.5 inches, and I'm going to fold it in half. I cut them at an angle. I'm going to fold it in half, and you can fold it either way. It doesn't make sense. But I'm going to kind of splay them a little bit, and then I am going to, whoopsie. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. My thing, because I monkeyed with it too much, came loose. One. Come on, be my friend. Be my friend, ribbon. 1, 2. There we go. Okay. It's going to be down here. There we go. All right, now I'm going to give it a little more pressure and really stick it on there. Okay. And so, anyway, I folded my 5.5-ish inch piece of ribbon here, and I'm just going to stick that down. And then, just to be extra safe, so nothing goes astray, I am going to stick a piece of Scotch tape back there. Probably overkill because it's going to hold, because I'm going to now use some dimensionals. But look at that. Very nice. Okay, so dimensionals are fabulous. No, that's not what I was going to say, but they're awesome. They're these little hexagons. And the thing that you don't want to do is add extra bulk right on top. I might put that on there, hold the tail in place, and put one here, kind of hold that stuff in place. But I'm not going to put it on this bulky ribbon because I don't want to cause it to be crazy. If you put it on this bulky part and then over here, it's going to teeter on your card. So this way it won't have to teeter. All right. Did you call them seesaws when you were little, or teeter-totters? I know, everybody's got a different name. I wonder if that's a regional thing, like a soda and a pop and a Coke. Okay, I'm going to stick that on there. Good. Glue it to the front. Now, if I had that extra gold in there, it would be beautiful, but I put it away. So that's what's going to happen. I could just pop that off later and add that gold, because I'll want to, because it'll make me nutty now that I know it should be there. Add a little bit of liquid glue, and ta-da, that is it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You've got a Christmas card, and because of the Stamparatus, it really was quick and easy, wasn't it? Thank you so much for stopping by. If you see something here that you love and it's no longer available, there will be a replacement in the comments below in the description, or the links for this will be in the description so that you can just order. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours, and I would like you to have a very good day. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.